Okay, so
Tier list video time. Oh yeah!
I will command a great and terrible army. We will sail to 1 billion worlds until every light has been extinguished.
all right, everybody, you know how it is. We're about to do another one of these tier list bad boys. I always say I'm going to make these shorter. This time, I actually changed something so that maybe we can make it shorter than what they usually are. And basically, what I did here, as you can see, I put these. I put the unspeakables in the F tier down here preemptively, so we don't have to waste time going over them. So basically, any heroes you see in here, take a good look, because after this point, we should never speak of them again. As of right now, you might as well pretend like they don't exist, and definitely don't spend any time working on them, looking at them, reading their name. Moving on, we're going to do this like we normally do. I'm just going to go alphabetically, except for the new heroes, which it automatically puts at the very bottom. And so to start it off, we're going to start with Abigail. She's going to hit straight over to C. Nothing's really changed with her. Agnon is still pretty much an S tier, but like I've said in my other tier list, Agnon pretty much needs his epic weapons to be considered S tier, or else if you don't have his epic, he's probably more like B tier. We're going to put Alexandros in C. Alrakis is still one of the best characters in the game, S. Archon is in the best meta PvP team, so you pretty much have to put him as an S, even though he really only has one move that makes him good, but that move nonetheless is pretty much, like I said, one of the best PvP setups in the game, so you got to throw him up there. I'd put Arya in A. If I had minuses, she'd probably be an A minus. She's definitely better than most of the heroes I'd put in B tier, but definitely there are some A heroes I can imagine that I'm going to put in here that are going to be a little bit better than her. Balur, we're going to throw slap straight into C. Let's put Bird Boy right here. I guess we could put Black Diamond in B, but you know, she's still one of those heroes that I guess if you put her, she has a good passive that helps with like Serenity teams. There are a couple people out there. There's like 3 people in all of Dungeon Boss that really like to use assassins, and so like they work okay on those people's like defenses, I guess offense teams, but you know, she's still not like that great of a hero overall. More so helps out the actual good heroes on that assassin setup. Braum is borderline F. If I wouldn't have got rid of the D tier, he'd probably be in there. We'll put him in C for now, because I guess technically he's better than most of these F heroes here, but not by a very wide margin. We're gonna throw a Cobressa right here. Our boy Craw has gotten significantly better. Obviously, most of you guys know, or if you're new and you don't know, they did make some changes to Craw. It definitely made him a little bit better. So, you know, I'm gonna throw him up in A for now. He's definitely not bad, especially if you have his epic. Crucible's gotten a little bit better. I've seen him a lot. I've seen him a lot more in PvP now, mainly on PvP defense because of his epic becoming more widely available. I haven't really used him with his epic much, so I can't attest to that, but I will say the fact that I've been seeing him more is probably a pretty clear indicator that he's at least better than the F tier hero that he was before. That said, I'm not gonna put my name on it, so I'm gonna put him in B for now, and then, you know, maybe if I find out he's a little bit better, I'll update you guys on that. Cruel King Bramble is still not that great of a hero, but still can help Miko be a little bit better. Darius is also not that great of a hero, but can work okay with Rayla teams. I actually have her on my defense, and my defense is at a pretty much like a 50% win rate, which is not terrible, considering that most defenses right now are in the negative in terms of win to loss ratio. So definitely not horrible. Dagrund is better than F heroes, but not by much. Deadeye is an okay hero, not great, not bad, just kind of there. He exists. He has some cool abilities, but just overall he's not impactful enough for him to really like get any hold in the meta. Dagon with his epic is probably the best hero in the game. Otherwise, you know, even without his epic, he's still pretty good. I'd still highly recommend him even if you don't have his epic, but definitely overall just an extremely good hero. What is this guy's name? Drac, I would still put in C. If they could get, I don't know if they ever fixed his epic. I feel like his epic is still broken. If they could ever get that to work correctly, the way it's implied that it works in its description, then he'd probably be a little bit better of a hero. I'm going to put him in, I have a hard time putting him in B, but I'm going to put him, he's like ultra B, he's like B minus. He's like, he's like on his last strike, like with like his teacher, like he's about to get permanently expelled type shit, over to C, right? Echo we're gonna put down into C. Ella's okay, I guess. We'll put her in B. Definitely better than all these C heroes. She's more of a fun niche character more than anything. Ember, I wish I could say Ember's better, but I'm gonna put her in C for now. I think I usually put her in B, but she's just really not deserving of it. I think she'd be a C+. I think she's probably, you know, probably about as good as Drac, but like just doesn't fit as many teams right now, at least. I hope some kind of change gets made to her, or like there's some type of family or I don't know, class change that makes her better. I don't know. I'd really like to use her more, but yeah, definitely not great at the moment. Emily is definitely C-, borderline F right now. Definitely not somebody really to focus on, but better than these other F heroes in my opinion. Zul'Qad is still pretty good. I think I'm gonna put Zul'Qad in A for now. I think he's A+, right? I think he's at S tier, but he's just not S tier against the current like meta heroes. He's just not good against the current meta defenses, and he's not good as a defender against current meta attackers. So he's just kind of like, yeah, he's a really good hero, but not really well suited for the PvP landscape right now, or the PvE landscape for that matter. I guess he could help, you know, if you want to cheese in PvP and like be able to pit some bosses if you're having trouble with it, I guess. But realistically, let's just say he's A+ for now. Furno's definitely still solid. I mean, he's still kind of forgettable, but he's definitely usable if you're determined to use dragons. So let's just throw him there. Therend, let's throw in C. You know, I wish I could put him higher, but I really can't. Gortusk, I'm gonna put into C also. He's kind of like Zul'Qad, where he could be a B tier, but he just doesn't work well with hardly any teams right now. You could use him with Monkey Boy maybe, and he might be okay with Solaris, and Solaris is epic maybe, but like realistically, in regards to like how much play he's seeing and like how much people are actually using him, I'd put him in C, especially in terms of like importance. Grog is like basically F, but I'm gonna put him into C just because his stats help carry him a little bit higher than like he will dunk on any of these F heroes like one-on-one. Realistically, for the most part, you know, if you're not including like type advantages and whatever. And obviously he can work with heroes that are halfway decent like Solaris, but he's still not good, right? So let's just put him in C for now. Doughboy is definitely, I'd say, A right now. I think I had put him in S, either the last one or the one before, but he's just not really seeing much play anymore. There's just better options for what we were using him for. Namely, we were using him a lot for like Nivias teams, but he really is not necessary for Nivias defenses anymore. Nor do I really see him on defense that much. Now, he is being used on defense a little bit with his epic for people that are running defenses with Thrax and are just trying to make annoying teams, but usually teams with him on defense don't really win. They're just meant to slow you down for things like Grand Guild Tourney, so people put him like with like Thrax and another like slow character. Who am I thinking of here? Well, in any case, usually he's not there as the main event. He's just there to slow you down, right? Again, namely with Thrax. So I'm going to put him as an A. very versatile, very good hero that you should focus on to some degree, but not on the same level, in my opinion, as the current S tier heroes. Hagrim we could put into C. I think he'd probably be a C+. He's, again, not terrible, but his damage output in comparison to like other people that you could put in his slot, even when you think about him combined with people like Vulcan or people like Dagon, just like there's just better in slots. You know, by in slot, I mean like out of your 4 hero slots, there's better in slots than him. So I'm going to still put him into C here. Hensuke, as long as you have his ultimate skin with Long John Suke, I'd say is a C hero. Without his skin, I'd say he's probably C-. With the skin, I'd say he's probably C+ or like borderline B. Without the skin, he's like definitely C-, borderline F. I do think he's better than most of these F heroes, so I'm not going to put him down there. I'm going to give him at least a little bit of respect here, but not much. Vulcan is definitely, I think, is back to some of his glory days. And I guess you could say he's an S tier hero now. You see him used a lot more now. He definitely helps on defenses to catch people off guard, with getting people's Dagon up to enough damage to be able to one-shot teams where he normally wouldn't, or on teams with no, that's pretty much it. Him with Dagon teams are pretty much where he shines. At least that's where I've been seeing him. Obviously, he also helps a lot in things like boss invasion or lunar events. So he's just like overall just a very, very good hero. But I'd say he's probably S-, A+. He's borderline right here. The only reason I'm putting him in S ahead of these other people is just because he's seeing a lot more play than those heroes are overall. Hopper, I'd say, is a pretty solid B tier hero. I'd say probably B+. B+ lately. Again, I try and base these when I'm making these off of the current meta and the current landscape. So Hopper right now is definitely used a lot more because of the prevalence of Nivias teams, and Hopper is able to be tanky enough now to actually like help on a team instead of just getting immediately wiped out, which used to be the case. So moving on, Ice Bloom is basically F, but I'm gonna put her as like a C-. Just like, if you've got other people, anybody else here to work on them instead of her. But I guess I would work on her before you bother starring up or ascending any of these heroes. Ice Pick is almost the exact same idea. I was really close to putting both of these MFers in F, but I'm gonna put them both in C for now, against my better judgment. But I'm gonna do it just because. Igorok is kind of in the same boat. He's pretty awful, but he's the most awful thing about him is that he's a legendary, more so than anything. He's a legendary, and he's just like I'm pretty sure 1v1. I'm pretty sure Grog would take him out. I'm pretty sure Theron would take him out. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, Hagrim would take him out. I don't know. Long John Suke would absolutely dunk on him. So it's really hard to put him any higher here. Indigo is just exists. She's better than the F heroes, but barely. Oh my god, what is this? Iris? Wait, what is this? What is this hero's name? Well, whatever this Beholder hero's name is I'd say probably a B in terms of like how good the hero is, but definitely not being used at all. I'm gonna put Drac over here just to again emphasize he's probably the worst one in this whole group here. Jinlei we're gonna put into A tier, still good but not hardly being used at all anymore. Shrek we're gonna put into B because he's not good, but he's definitely better than the C's, especially because now you can use him with people like Thrax or like with Gretel. And so he's not good, but he's like gotten slightly better because there's more like plant synergy, I guess you could say, that makes him slightly better than he used to be. Miko's okay. I'm still gonna say Miko's probably like C. I'm gonna put Miko. Did I call him Miko? No, I meant Kai. Kai is definitely I wouldn't say much better than C. I'd say he's better than a lot of these heroes. Like if we were putting these in order, you know, we'd be looking at something like this here. This isn't like definitive. I'm just moving people really quickly. So we'd be looking at something probably close to this, for like in order of like who's good to bad and C. So just to give you an idea. Blue Lily is probably going to also be C. Again, like, I don't think she's terrible. We could probably put her in B. She's probably actually better than most of these C's, at least at the moment, but probably not much better. She's probably on par with like Long John Suke, but you'll definitely see her used a lot more right now, just because you can use her with like Lily, and you know that. I guess I wouldn't, but you could in theory. Koros is still trash, unfortunately. Probably put him like right there. I'm not much to say that I haven't said in other tier lists, so definitely go check those other ones out if you want a more in-depth look at Koros here. Jesus, oh my god, it's genuinely, look, there's like 110 heroes right now, so like it is genuinely hard to remember some names sometimes, especially like when I'm trying to like think of things to say for my recording, and I'm like looking at this like sea of tokens here. I'm just like, oh my god. Okay, so Kozar, I remembered as I was rambling. Kozar is not much better than a C. I wish I could put him higher, but I really can't. He's honestly like much worse than Shrek. He just doesn't do enough damage, and even buffed by Thrax just really doesn't do much. Leo's still really good. Not used much, but is still pretty good with like Solaris or something like that. Lily is going to be upper B tier with Oak Form. Without Oak Form, she's probably C tier. With Oak Form, then she's high B tier. Lorelei, still one of the best heroes in the game. Everybody, you know, at low levels, at anything lower than level 80, people pretty much think Lorelei is like the most evil character on Earth, or in the entire game at least. At upper levels, like, we deal with her pretty easily, but she's still definitely really good, and definitely a staple hero. So if you're not working on her, definitely do, because she will make your life a lot easier. It's definitely the best healer in the game, and synergizes with every other good hero, like Agnon, like Alrakis, like the other dragons that we're going to mention here in a bit. So definitely work on her. Lumen's pretty awful. I guess Lumen's better than most of these heroes here. I'd say Lumen's not better than Long John Suke, but he's probably better than most of these other heroes down here. So sue me if you don't agree with me. Malice is super good. I don't think she's S tier good, as I've explained in other tier list videos, but she definitely makes it a very good defensive character because of her passive ability that makes your opponents lose an energy if one of their heroes dies. So if she's on defense, and she's on a defense with Dagon, and Dagon manages to kill one of your offense characters, your whole team loses energy. It can really mess your entire attack team up. So she's definitely a good to have character. You don't really need to use her with Zul'Kan anymore. In fact, I definitely see her used a lot more than Zul'Kan nowadays. So, you know, take that for what it is. I don't know, whatever this dumb hero's name is I guess you could put him in B, definitely lower B tier. You know, just not good. Masuda Kira, let's throw him in C. You know, probably around here, I guess. Miko the Marvelous, still an A. Meyer is Meyer's okay. I guess like Meyer got a tiny little bit better because you can use him with Gretel and Shrek and stuff, but like he's still not good. Sorry. And listen, the Meyer meme is you know, there was like 2 memes before it that that were the exact same thing, where we talked about a bad character being good. So like, speaking of which, what's this guy doing down here? Oh, sorry, I must have made a mistake there. But anyways, moving on. Nivias is still obviously one of the best heroes in the game, or one of the worst, depending on, you know, if we're talking about how much people like or hate them. Definitely everybody hates Nivias, but Nivias is probably the most widely used character or hero in the game. I mean, probably on par with, I don't know, I'd say probably, if I had to guess, which hero is in the highest percentage of defenses in the game, I'd say it's probably Nivias. If I had to guess, I'm not positive, but I would guess that, and I'd probably be right, you know, because I'm usually right about stuff. Let's see here. Nub Nub, let's put in C. He's just a very subpar healer, but like not awful, but just not good either. Pontifex is better than these C heroes, but barely. Maybe, probably, I'd say. Actually, I'm gonna put him in C. Look, like, his epic is good for clearing rooms in PvE, but in PvP, I wouldn't say he's better than Long John Suke. And if I'm putting Long John Suke down here, I've got to put Pontifex down here. Where are we at here? Let's see, Rayla. Rayla's gotten decent lately. I don't know. I have her on my defense, and she's absolutely annihilating. So, I mean, it's not really her that's annihilating. It's mostly her, like, her first ability that's causing the rest of my characters to annihilate. So I'd say she's probably B+ or A- level. But I'll put her in like B+ for now. I'd say she's probably at the upper echelon of B here. I think she's better than people like Shrek and, you know, I'm gonna throw this guy down here. Shrek and like Blue Lily, but like she's still not. She needs like a very exact type of team for her to really work on defense. Rocky the Shiitake we're gonna put down into C. Selwyn with his epic is okay. So I mean, I think he's better right now than any of these C heroes, but like he's kind of a one-trick pony. You kind of just want him to like only get into his ice form and then like keep getting into his ice form, but realistically I'm actually going to put him into C. I changed my mind because like, look, like he can take a couple attacks, but he's not going to do anything. He's not going to kill anybody. He's not going to freeze anybody. He's literally not going to do anything. So I can't really put him in B. Serenity is still one of the best heroes in the game, so definitely if you haven't worked on her, work on her. Obviously, I feel like I shouldn't really have to say that because you probably see her a lot in PvP, but Serenity and Nivias probably are the two that would fight for most used PvP defenders in the game. The difference is Serenity is used on almost every attack team as well. So I'd say, you know, Serenity's probably objectively better to work on. If you had to choose one, I'd work on Dagon probably first out of every S hero, and then probably Serenity after Dagon, personally, if I had to give advice and you could only work on one hero at a time. Shade is still not good, but I'd say probably at the upper levels of C+ level. We've got, you know, Shadowblade, which is C somewhere in the middle. I don't know, probably around here. I don't know. C, just, like, only if you use him with somebody like Serenity, I guess. Don't bother working on him much if you don't need to. Astrid is still pretty good. Astrid is just not used very much, but definitely still decent. A decent person to work on. Sifu exists. Solaris is super good. As far as, like, I'd say Solaris probably A right now. If you have her, she can just be ruined super tanky, and if you use her with Lorelei, she's really good. And as some of you guys have seen from my previous videos or my streams, she works really well with Monkey. Do I think she's, like, you know, one of the best heroes in the game? Probably not. If I had to order A tier, it'd probably be something like this. Let's see here. I'd probably put it something like this. Probably is the order I'd put A tier in. Let's see, what would I put S tier in? I'd put S tier like this, probably like that. I'd probably put it something like this. You know, except for this guy here. There we go. But again, anybody in S tier is worth getting. So I wouldn't you know, I wouldn't be too concerned about that little ordering right there. Spitfire is red. Monkey Boy is my new favorite hero. I think he's super overlooked. I think he's probably the most overlooked S tier hero. I think he's better than all these A tier heroes. He works well on defense, as my defense has proven. He works well on offense, as my offense teams with him have proven. I do think that there are better picks and better meta teams, but I do think overall he does massive amounts of damage. He has a lot of really cool abilities, and I think overall he's just a very overlooked good character. Sybil with his epic is definitely an S tier hero. Really good. Still used a decent amount in defense, an okay amount on offense. I think his epic is free now, so go ahead and get that if you haven't. But yeah, definitely still an S. Furnace, unfortunately, is still a C hero. Not much to say there. Viperia, still a C hero. Yan Lo is a B, somewhere in B. Who knows? Still not great, but he's, he exists in the B realm. Yasmin is not F, but like barely. I considered it for a second, but I decided that she's probably better than most of these. Like I couldn't in good conscience put her next to somebody like Krex. You know what I mean? Like I just couldn't do it. So she's in C. Zen is okay. I wouldn't work on him, but I'd work on him before I worked on any of these people here. Oh man, why can't I remember her name? Forget it. She's okay. She exists, but I wouldn't work too much on her as of right now. But reptiles just aren't good. So that's kind of the bottom line. Like, yeah, she's a decent hero, but if all the heroes that she works with are like F or bottom C, then it's really not probably something you want to work for. And she's just really not good without any reptiles on your team. So, and for some reason dragons don't count as reptiles. Aren't they just big lizards, kind of cold-blooded? Okay, so Zom is B, I guess. He's bottom of B, I guess. I don't know. Look, he's really a C hero, guys, but like we'll put him in B because he can have his uses in the tower or in PvE or in some stuff like that. So we'll put him right there. Gretel, I think, is pretty decent, but like I think they really missed the mark. They made like her whole thing where she turns people. What if she turned them into bunnies or whatever? Like, it just doesn't work well. It's just not a good it sounds good on paper, and like when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, it's gonna be like a really good crowd control character that can like, really be annoying and whatever. But like, just didn't really work out well. She didn't really work well. I wanted to be able to have a get out of my swamp team with her and Shrek and Meyer. It just nothing really worked that well. So she's not terrible, but she's not like great either. So anyways, she's somewhere in the middle here. I'd say probably somewhere around here. Thrax, I have a hard time with Thrax. I don't think Thrax is an S rank hero, but you see him a lot right now, so it's hard to deny that people definitely like him, definitely like having him on defense. So I'd say he's somewhere in here in A. I'd say probably at the top of A, maybe these could be switched around a little bit here, but I mean, he's okay. He's worth working on if you like running slow heroes and you want like a team that can just like live through anything for PvE and stuff like that. You could run him with Grondor, and they're really annoying to kill. So, I mean, he's worth working on. Definitely a decent hero. I was hoping for more out of him, but definitely not bad. Balur. I haven't figured out a way to make Balur actually good. I use him on my attack team with Monkey Boy, but like his only good move is his third special, and it's wonky, and you also need to have like 4 festives on him to be able to even use it, and his stats are terrible. His other 2 moves are terrible, and another redeeming quality of him are his passives, specifically ones that like help light heroes. It's what causes Monkey Boy to do even more damage than he normally would, which is pretty much the only reason I'm... Oh, God. What happened? No. No. Okay, we're still good. All right. So, as I was saying, sorry, I like click the back button on my mouse. So, anyways, he's somewhere in here. I think he's not good enough to really warrant being higher than A. Unfortunately, he's a dragon that doesn't really fit on the dragon team. He fits better on like light teams than on dragon teams. So I don't know. Not much I can say about him except I don't mind that they're not making every hero overpowered, but yeah. Anyways, in terms of power, he's somewhere in A. Krex somehow is in F. Wait, what happened here? Did it take out all my F heroes? I'm so confused. I think it like it it knew I was trying to save time, and it was like, no, you need to, if you're gonna be filming this, you need to be doing this by hand. So here we go. F boys, we out here. Big F's in the chat. Rip. R.I.P. boys. Okay. And to finish this off, last but not least, we have got the new spirit heroes here. We've got Harbinger, which is, he's okay. There was no token for him online, so I had to like make my own janky token for him. He's okay. He's not great. He's better than all these C heroes. I wish he was better. I guess he's probably the second best of the new spirits that came out, but that's not really saying a lot. Moriko is definitely probably A or S. I'm gonna put him at like A+. The problem is that yes, he's an okay hero. He's definitely not terrible. He removes corpses whether he's on the field or not. So like, it really helps against like people like Nivias. He's super tanky. His abilities are actually kind of cool. You know, like his special attacks are like kind of cool. His traits are kind of cool. The problem is he's seeing so much use right now, not because of how good he is. That's part of it, but the main reason he's seeing so much play right now is because he's causing so many errors in the game. So people are using him kind of in bad faith to like try and make attackers run into error codes that they can't get out of, and they have to quit out of matches. So until they fix that, I can't say that he's really an S. Like if they fix that and people are still using him a lot, then maybe I'll say he's an S hero. I think he's like upper echelon A even without the bugs. So we will see if he ever deserves to be put up into S rank. Undine is so lackluster. I mean, I'll put her in B, but she's like bottom rung B. Like I was considering in my head right now putting her in C, but she's not good. I'll do the same with Vulcan. Vulcan's probably the worst one. They had like cool sounding abilities. Like their like quad spirit attack sounded like it was going to be cool, but it's just really not. So it is what it is. Did I still manage to hit 34 minutes? How? How did I still... I feel like I cut out so much time, and I still ended up hitting over 30 minutes. How do I make these shorter? So I just need to... How do I stop rambling? How do I stop rambling so much? Please like and subscribe and comment. I'll see you guys soon.